Girl, girl, they already told us. They already told us not to go there. Stop it. Hello, besties. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Today, we are going to talk about all the books that I read in November. And I want to start something new. If you are interested in knowing the spice level of the book, I want to start mentioning the spice level. I think it's very useful for people who want to avoid spice or for people who are looking for more spice in their books. The first book, The Curse, this one was spicy. I want to say 3.5 for chili peppers. And that was it. Was this book good? No. The romance was toxic, but it was addictive. It was very addictive. Once you start, you can't stop. I don't know why, but it was very addictive and very easy to read. And it was very spicy. If you don't want spice or if you don't want toxic relationships, don't pick this one up. You will not love it. And Willow, the FMC, I thought that she didn't get any emotional development, in my opinion. And about the plot, what plot? The plot is lost. Nothing happened. In the first half of the book, I want to say nothing happened. And then everything happened at the same time. And we didn't get to know all the archdemons, all the characters in depth. And that thing bothered me. I think we had all the right elements to have a great story, but it was like we had the archdemons, we had Grey, we had everything that we discovered in this book. The world is very interesting. It was a missed opportunity for me. I wanted to see more of the archdemons, about their history, about their background, about what they did before they came into this world. I wanted to see more interactions in general and more scenes with the archdemons in them and to get to know them better. But the ending wasn't expected at all, and it is a hint to a spin-off or a continuation to the series. So the series will continue, or we are going to get maybe another duet in the same world as in the Crowns of Nyaxia series, like duets set in the same world under an overarching plot. Maybe that's what the author wants to do with these books, but I'm going to pick the next book up. Yes, I'm surprised too, because I think maybe in the next book we will get some answers, and maybe we will get an improvement when it comes to world building and characters. So yeah, I'm still going to continue on with the series. It's not the best book. I loved The Coven more, but I'm interested to see what happens next. The next book that I picked up was a thriller by Riley Sager. It is called The Last Time I Lied. In this book, we are following the story of a woman. Her name is Emma. She's 28 years old and she's still haunted by something, a very terrible thing that happened to her and to her friends at a summer camp 15 years ago. She shared a cabin with 3 older girls. I think at that time she was like about maybe 13 and the girls were between 16, 17, I want to say. And one night they went outside. Emma stayed in the cabin, but the 3 girls, they went outside. And until this day, no one knows what happened to those girls. They went missing and like nobody knows. And that memory has haunted her for years. It really impacted her mental health immensely and her work and everything. And now she went back to that summer camp, the same one, as an art teacher. And she wants to get closure. She wants to know what happened to those girls. When I read the synopsis, I was instantly interested. I wanted to know what happened to those girls too. And as I followed Emma's story in the beginning, I thought that the beginning of the book was very slow. And even after the beginning, like middle of the book, everything happened so slowly in the book. It dragged, in my opinion, and that took away a lot from the thrilling emotions that we were supposed to get from the book. The ending was good. I didn't expect that at all. It was unexpected and I was very, very surprised. But besides that, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the other books by the same author, Riley Sager. I mean, Home Before Dark, Lock Every Door, The House Across the Lake, and the only one left was A Chef's Kiss, one of the best books by him, in my opinion. So yeah, I recommend reading those instead of this one. This one, I don't know, it didn't do it for me. I think the other ones are much better. The next book that I picked up is The Trial of the Sun Queen. This wasn't on my TBR at all, but because of Bookish Books, the announcement of the special editions of this series, the Artifacts of Uranus. I mean, it is a very popular series, but is it a good idea to start the series? No. Especially for me now at this point, no. But I really loved what they did with the books, and I really wanted to get them, but I didn't want to get them before knowing that I would love them. I wanted to know if I would love the book, if I would love the writing style. So that is why I decided to pick this one up before the sale day to make a decision. And I'm happy, I'm so happy I did. This was so good. I really loved it. The beginning of the book reminded me of a dystopia world, and the plot was so intriguing and it kept me hooked throughout the book. I really loved our FMC2, Lore. She's very loyal and resolute. I loved her character. And this book has one of the things that I love the most about fantasy books. It is a trial or a competition. Deadly trials. I love them. And these women are competing to become the next wife of the Sun King. So they are competing for the title of the Queen, the Sun Queen. This is like the selection, but in a fantasy world, but much, much ruthless, much dark. Really loved it. And there is minimal spice in this book too. I would say 1 chili pepper, maybe a little bit less. So if you don't like spice, highly recommend this one. And the ending, I loved the ending so much, and I cannot wait to continue on with the series. And yeah, it was a nice surprise. The next book that I read is a genre that I don't usually read. You know, I have told you about it before. I don't usually read horror, but I decided to pick this one up, The September House. I was going to vlog it, but then I started reading the book and I changed my mind. I will tell you why. This is about a couple named Hal and Margaret. They move into this house, they buy it, and they move into this house. It is a large Victorian style house, and Margaret loves it. She fell in love with the house, but there is one tiny problem. The house is haunted, and like, very weird things happen in this house, and it is called the September House because every September the walls start to bleed, like literally. It's so weird, and weird stuff are happening. In the beginning of the book, I really liked it. I was like surprised because I was discovering everything with the characters. I loved the narration of the book, but then the husband decides he's fed up. He does not want to live there anymore. I think this happened after a few years, and he wants to move out, but the wife wants to stay in the house. So they get into a fight. Hal moves out and never comes back. And like, Margaret tries to call him. His daughter, they have, I think she's about 30 years old, their daughter. She's trying to call her father and he never responds. So now the daughter moves back into the house, or like she comes to visit her mother, and the daughter is clueless. The daughter doesn't know anything about the house. They never said anything to her. And the story starts from there. What I didn't like about the book is in the beginning, it was fascinating, as I said, to discover this house along with the characters, but then Margaret got used to them, and we got their, I'm talking about the ghosts, and we get their backstories and everything, and they are not as scary as in the beginning. In the beginning, you were like shocked, but then as a reader too, you get used to them. And there's also some dark humor in the book. I enjoyed the dark humor, but it wasn't scary. It wasn't scary. And for me to say that a book is not scary, it means that it's not scary at all, at all. It is creepy a bit in the beginning, weird, maybe a little bit disgusting too, but not scary. And yeah, that's why I didn't film the vlog, because it wasn't like a horror book for me, in my opinion. The next book that I read was Anatomy, a Love Story, and I loved the setting of this book. This book is set in the 1800s in Edinburgh, and we are following Hazel, who wants to become a surgeon, and in a world dominated by men. Basically, no woman is allowed to enter, or no woman is allowed to become a surgeon at that time. I was immersed in the story. The vibes, I loved them. It was slow. In the beginning, I thought that I was waiting until we get to the meat of it, you know, when she tries to enter the school, and then she gets the deal that she needs to study on her own, that she is not allowed to attend school anymore. And if she succeeds, then she can start her training as a surgeon. And to get to that point in the story, you need to read a lot. So I thought it was very slow, it dragged, but I loved Hazel's passion and love for anatomy and the human body and her hunger to learn new things. I loved that about her. The romance, what romance? The romance was lackluster for me. It was very lacking. Maybe like the title of the book, Anatomy, a Love Story, it is about Hazel's love for anatomy, because the romance was very, yeah, I wasn't feeling it at all. I also wanted to have more scenes digging graves, plotting, more danger overall, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. I gave this book 3 stars, but I don't plan on picking the next one up. So yeah, it was good, but it wasn't what I was expecting from this book. The next book that I read was The Dagger and the Flame, and I'm happy to report I'm keeping this beautiful copy by Fairy Loot because I enjoyed this so much. I'm happy that I hear a lot of people saying that they are starting to feel like they are growing out of YA fantasy, and I'm happy that it didn't happen to me because I still enjoy them so much. This is fast-paced, filled with action, good banter, everything good. And I'd say it is more of an upper YA than a YA. It hooked me from the first chapter and I was easily immersed in the story. Loved the magic system with the shade, the opposing guilds, the cloaks and the daggers, and the history between them. It was just a lot of fun, and the romance between Seraphine and Ransom, on point. I loved it so much. By the way, if the name Seraphine, I loved the name. Ransom, if Ransom bothers you, it's not his real name. If you read the story, you will get to know his real name and you will get to know why he was called Ransom. So yeah, if that thing, because I saw some people were like, Ransom? That's a bit weird. But yeah, you will get to know the story behind that too. I would say the thing that is missing from this book is more world building and more depth to the side characters to make you care more for them. And I hope we get that in the second book because I'm definitely continuing on with the series and I hope it gets better. So yeah, definitely a good start to the series. The next book that I read was Rewitched. This is a cozy paranormal romance with witches. I had a copy. You saw me unbox it, the Waterstones exclusive edition, but I already sold it. And I'll tell you why. Okay, this book is mainly about self-discovery, self-love, and overcoming the fear of failure. It was fun. It was cozy. It had the 90s witch vibes and all the fall vibes too. The pacing for me was a problem with this book. It was very off. It was slow, and then when it comes to scenes that you really care about, it went really fast. And the romance, to be honest, wasn't it for me. Our FMC, her name is Belle, when she was interacting sometimes with the love interest, his name is Rune, he was trying to help her. He was trying to be kind to her, and her reactions came off as mean, at least for me, and I didn't love that from her at all. There was no chemistry in my opinion, so I wasn't convinced when it comes to the romance. I gave this book 3 stars, but the more I sit with it, the more I think about it, I think it is more of a 2.5 stars. For the fall vibes, the cozy vibes, the Halloween themes, the library that she works in. Yeah, that's my opinion about this book. The next one, yes. Absolutely 100% yes, The House at Watch Hill. Oh my god. I have the feeling this is going to be an insane series, an insane fantasy, urban fantasy. This is urban fantasy. Insane. So good. The beginning for the series, yes. I am so excited about this. We follow Zoe and her mother are struggling financially. After the death of her mother, she gets a call that she's the sole heir to a huge, and I mean huge, fortune. So she goes to Divinity, she heads to that town where she is going to meet the lawyer who is responsible for this fortune and everything, and gets introduced to her new home, which is a monstrosity of a mansion. A Gothic mansion, I mean, you can say castle. The thing is huge, sitting on top of a hill overlooking Divinity, the name of the city. And the only condition is she must live in there alone for 3 years in order to inherit. There is a strange red-eyed Stygian owl. There is a sexy Scottish groundkeeper. There are hidden doors, a lot of secrets, strange circumstances, and we are discovering everything as we go with Zoe. The book will get you hooked, and I love that we are following Zoe in each step. Like, we are getting every frustration and every question mark, and I was questioning too. I was Zoe in the book. I was like, I remember the scene when they told her, don't venture into the West Wing. I think it is the West Wing. Like, it is dark, strange things happen there. And Zoe was going, of course, when they tell you not to do something, then you keep thinking about it. And she wants to know what's happening there. I was like, girl, they already told us. They already told us not to go there. Stop it. And it was so exciting and addictive. Really, really enjoyed it. The plot was so compelling. The dark atmospheric vibe was on point. I am so eager to know what happens to these characters and in the story in general in the future. And of course, where the romance will go. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes, that's a great start to a new series. And I'm very, very excited to continue on with the series. Yes, The House at Watch Hill, a huge yes. The next book that I picked up was another success, Phantasma by Kylie Smith. Let me remind you of the pitch of this book. This book is pitched as Caraval meets Throne of the Fallen in a spicy, dark romantasy, where a necromancer needs the help of a dangerous phantom to win a deadly competition, only to find that their partnership may cause them to break the game's only rule is to not fall in love. And I'm happy to report the author delivered and more. I love when authors deliver on the pitch because this was exactly that. I loved it so much. I loved every single page of this book from the beginning. The setting, the mansion, the big mansion, the dark Gothic mansion called Phantasma where the games are held. The characters, the games, the demons, the mind games, the haunts that are in the house, the supernatural creatures, the scares that we got, everything. The vibes were immaculate, and also the OCD and anxiety representation in the book were so well done, and the narrator is one of my favorite narrators ever. Her name is Lana Horowitz. She did such an amazing job bringing everything to life. The mansion, she brought the mansion to life. I loved every single bit of it. The plot line in this book, the plot line is so addictive with the games and the levels inspired by the 9 circles of hell, and a lot of mysteries to uncover along the way. And Ophelia's and Blackwell's romance was scorching hot. It's not a slow burn, but the romance was so hot. I loved it. It is spicy. This book is spicy. The only reason why I gave it 4.5 stars and not 5 stars is because I want the ending to be longer. I wanted it to be longer. And I thought that it was too short. Everything happened so quickly, but apart from that, oh my God, this deserves all the hype. I ate this up. So addictive, loved it. The perfect Gothic romantasy. I really want to read more from this author, and I cannot wait to read the second book in the series. The next book that I picked up was The Half King. I had high hopes for this book. Very high hopes, because from the synopsis I was really interested, and it is a beautiful, beautiful copy from Fairy Loot. We also have a stunning first edition copy too. So yeah, I really, really wanted to love this, but it was just okay, to be honest. It was just okay. The premise and the synopses were very promising. We have Kian, he's the Half King. He has this curse that every sunset he turns into shadow, and when the sun comes up again, he's back into his human form again. And if he turns 21 before breaking the curse, he will vanish like every Mortara firstborn before him. He will vanish into the darkness forever. And our main female character, her name is Cerise, and she was sent to the castle as the temple emissary, and she's the one that will help the king, of course, break his curse. The first thing that I didn't like about this book is the writing style. The writing is very, very simplistic, and that didn't bother me as much as Everything was so convenient for our FMC. Like, these people have spent years and years, decades, you can say, searching for a solution to the curse, and no one found anything. And then Cerise comes, and after a few visits to the library and talking to some people, she finds the lead conveniently, and they start their journey to try to break the curse. And also, I didn't buy the romance. It was